Warm welcome, dear one, to a new episode of Heart and Soul, your podcast for the changemakers. In today's episode, I would like to talk about fragmentation and conflict and how to overcome them. Stay tuned. Divide and conquer can only work as long as we are fragmented within ourselves. And all of us are. We all have different aspects in our personality that sometimes we are not even aware of. We all know these little conflicts inside of us. You want to go to the gym, but you also want to stay on the couch and have some popcorn or chocolate or ice cream. You want to get ready with your work, but you also want to go to the cinema. We all know these little conflicts inside of us, and there we can sense and feel how there are different aspects inside of us who are battling with each other, so to speak. And you coming to terms with your own inner aspects will bring peace inside of you. And having people who are peaceful within themselves will be the only way to create a peaceful society and planet. As whatever we are fighting on the outside, if you have a reoccurring pattern, you always fight with authority figures, for example. If you have reoccurring conflicts on the outside, there is a conflict on the inside that you might not be aware of. And that is the reason for today's episode. And there is no human being on the planet that has absolutely no conflict on the inside. And it's not a bad thing to have these conflicts, but to be aware of them is really crucial. As long as we are aware of them, we can stay healthy and peaceful, as it is really like we have an inner family with different members, and as long as they are aware of each other's needs, and as long as they are able to talk to each other and find ways how everybody is respected and seen, and everybody's needs can find some room, that is the way how we stay emotionally healthy and mentally healthy. As I have found that these fragmentations, they are created as we are living in a world of duality. And in childhood, you are not allowed to express yourself always to the fullest. And very often when there is trauma even coming in, then you are no longer aware of these different members of your inner family. You are no longer aware of this conflict. When you are traumatized, you may push some of your needs into the shadows. If you have suffered from violence, you may make a decision to push your vulnerable part into the shadow, or you may decide to push your aggressive part into your own aggressive part into the shadow, because you feel you cannot live with them, as these situations are traumatizing us. And we all have those wounds. And if someone is really heavily traumatized, I came across some people who have such a strong split in their personality, that yeah, these aspects of these people, they really are absolutely not aware of each other. And this is, from my point of view, it is the reason for multiple personality disorder. I cannot prove that, and I'm not a scientist. It's just from own experience and my ability to really find inner gnosis and to sense into people. And as I find there is no coincidence that I came across this personality type so often and have been able to really observe them, really sometimes really close people. And there I could see this fragmentation really playing out in some extreme cases. But we all have them, as I said, our normal inner conflicts that are playing out there. And I will give an example from my own life. For a long, long time in my life, I felt a huge split between my, well, official normal life and where I was, I was normal wife and mother and normal citizen. And especially in my working life, I have experienced this split very strongly, um, as I've been working with money all of my life. While I myself have always looked through money, what it is and how it's working, and while I was able to understand it, I was not very interested in it. And on the other hand, there has been my deep, deep knowledge and craving for great to have more understanding of all of the issues that are seen as woo-woo. And I did hide this woo-woo side of mine for a long, long time, and felt that this was what was making me happy, to investigate woo-woo stuff and to find out more and to study astrology and energy healing and all of that kind of stuff was really my great, great passion. And I always felt I first have to do my obligations in this society, and have to hide what I'm really interested in, and found it really like a split, until I realized that there was no split between these two different parts of me, as they are one. Um, I'm working with energies. I'm sensitive to energies, and I was working with money. What is money? Money is how this 3D normal society is exchanging um, currency, and this is a way how they have an exchange of energy by using money. and what people value, they will pay money for, and what they are not valuing, they won't pay money for it. So there has never been this split between the normal, the average experiences and my passions. It has been a split in my perception because as a child I had to suppress all of my uh, abilities, my special abilities, my way to perceive things, and my greater gnosis I had to suppress to fit in. And that has been the way how this split has been created. But now I realize there has never been a split, because I was always working with energies and I was always aware of the energies, and I'm really uh, good with interaction with people. I was always very successful in my working life, as I am aware of energies. I was aware of the energies that are going on in a group, and so I was able to navigate this reality, and I was able to have constructive interaction with the people around me, and I was able to find mistakes very easily because I was aware of the energetic flow. I could feel if something doesn't feel right. So there was no split. It was just the perception of a split, and me going all in wherever I go is now what makes life really beautiful. And I do not hide my woo woo side any longer. I will not impose my metaphysics onto average people, but I do not hide this side of mine any longer. And this is just an example of such a conflict playing out. And I can tell you that for a long, long time, this has caused me a lot of headaches, and I felt really uncomfortable because having conflicts is really, really disturbing for our own inner self, and it is damaging even our health if we have these conflicts inside of us, and it is doing great, great harm, as the energies, they are suppressed and they get stuck, and this is, it depends on your personality if you have thought loops that are created this way, or you have emotional imbalance, or if the imbalance is expressed on your physical body. But there will be some imbalance that is created if you have these conflicts between your inner aspects. And these inner aspects will also show up on the outside. You will have some patterns that will recreate themselves again and again. And whenever you have such a pattern that you can identify, it would benefit you a lot if you would ask yourself, what does this tell me about myself? As life is really loving, And so it wants us to be whole and complete and healed again. And having a special type of person showing up in your life again and again, this is an indicator that there is an aspect of yourself that you might not give any space, or that you do not allow to express itself, and you might even not be aware of it, and it might live in the shadows, while you need this part of yourself to really thrive in life and to really be happy and healthy again. And that is why I felt I have to share this. And I felt we have to be the ones, we have to be the change we want to see in the world. And the world is a reflection, and it is a reflection of our own inner self. And I can give you an example, another example of me integrating a shadow aspect of mine a few years ago. I have always been a very, very tender, loving person, and I really felt uncomfortable with conflicts of any kinds. I really disliked it. And because of trauma in my childhood, and of course I attracted some bulldozing people into my life, and always found it difficult to stand up against them. And then after a while, I found that I became aware of past lives of myself. They have been showing up where I have been a knight, or where I have been a warrior. I remember to be a Maasai warrior. That is really an extreme, they are really extremely teached into strength and fighting. And I became aware of them. And then one day, I remember when my inner knight has been showing up on my inside to be integrated, this aspect of mine. And I was astonished, really, really astonished what happened when I allowed him in. Because I was shown a round table. This knight opened a round table. So he didn't try to dominate the other aspects of mine. Instead, he put all of the other aspects around this table so everybody would have a voice. And he laid his sword of truth onto the table. And the next thing I was really astonished about was he immediately started to talk to the part of myself that has this overly motherly energy. And it's been really funny the way this has been shown to me, and how the picture that showed up, those both having a little chat. And of course, it's making much, much sense, because my loving energies, they need the strong warrior to protect them, so nobody would take advantage of my loving side. And of course, the strong fighting energies of the warrior, they need loving advice, so they will never go and bulldoze over other people. And so this has been really, really important. And this is just one example when you are able to bring your aspects home, you will be whole again. And this inner conflict will end, and you will become way more happy and healthy, when you are aware of these aspects and when they start to talk to each other and everybody has a voice on your inner roundtable. And this is what I invite you to, because when you are in peace with yourself, you are whole again, and this is your own inner round table. This is your own holy grail that you are creating in this way. And you will navigate through outer life and outer difficulties much, much easier. And there will not be that much conflict showing up in your life. And we, being the change, is the only way how we can create the change in the world. So first, it is an inside job that we have to do. So I hope this might benefit you a lot. You might have some insights. There is no part of you that you have to be afraid of, as you can trust that you have the other ingredients and aspects of yourself that will balance this out, as my inner motherly figure is balanced out perfectly with the warrior, and they are a perfect match to each other. So I have the love and the strength, both of it. And that is what you can trust for yourself also. You are not getting into imbalance by accepting your own self back again. Just the opposite. You will be much more balanced, much happier, much more integrated and healthy when you allow your aspects back in. So, have a great time. Until next time, huge loving hug to you all around the globe. Your Natalie. Bye.